at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Set, ready? 10-2 start. Mike, I got you.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Lauletta. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be out right at the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Touchdown, Vikings! David Johnson. His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Rodgers going to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, alert 3.
Rodgers now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a play fake, and it's Lauletta. This will be caught by Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run on first down. Dickerson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
From the 24, Lauletta. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
That's it, baby. We're going to rush.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll look to get something started. They need to. Down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, you block over here. Hey,
shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the quarterback, there in coverage.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? It's the last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 30 base. Let's go.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6-6, pull it high. Get it.
On 2nd down now, Dickerson, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Johnson. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
Let's go, D, let's go. Hey, let's get this. Let's go.
Lauletta, he'll look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along. But their kicking is so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers. Going to throw again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. After the penalty, it's Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, 54 yards. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll be taken down, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. They come out here in the eye. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up, because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lauletta. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Check tight. Check tight. Hey, exit.
A shotgun snap to Lauletta. And Diggs has it. That'll be a gain of 16, and that'll make it 3rd down.
16 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Ready, set, X3, 218, chop it. Defense wins championships, baby. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. '55's my guy, 55. Speed trip.
3rd and 2, Lauletta. And that's caught by Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Dickerson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
At the 45-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Now here's Loletta. Complete. Smith has it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's first and 10. Here's Madison running on first down. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On second down, this is Madison. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Loletta. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 25-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ready. 30 base.
Coming this way. Here we go.
It's long let off, play action. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That's good for 28 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
This quarterback now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Newsom. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Game situation. Let's go.
They'll run it with Madison. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Jumper.
Protein spill. Snap.
On 1st down, Dickerson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it with Newsom. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50.
Here's Lawletta. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And his kick is indeed good, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with a field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
John Brown set to kick off.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
And the Packer first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Rodgers. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers, the quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are back within a single score. Harkey adds the extra point, and that will get him one closer.
19, Packers 14.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
Let's go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll run on 1st down. Dickerson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Come on,
so after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Let's put that team on the front. 5:55, 9:50.
Lauletta now to throw it. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35.
That's another Vikings 1st down.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And they give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here we go, here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Lauletta. It's called Smith. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner with good
rush coming, and he's taken down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
To try again after the sack, Lauletta. And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun, Lauletta taking a shot for Samuel. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Hey, what's the ball? Check 4.
They'll run it with Jones. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Come on, baby.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. 27 yards there, a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Let's go. 30.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Looking around the league from Raymond James Stadium, they're in the third quarter in Tampa. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Loletta. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Just like that. Just like that.
Here's Madison. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. From the 27, Loletta. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. You're all mine. Mike 5-5. Mike.
Hey, I 7.
You must be getting tired.
Ready?
From the gun, here's Loletta. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and very short, Rodgers. He's got this one complete to Fountain. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Bearing it deep for Fowler. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. This is Jones. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go. Right there.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Incomplete. Into the hands of Fowler. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers have taken the lead. Parkey with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Lauletta. And he fires one incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. From the 25 on 2nd down, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Packers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, he finds his running back who snuck right down the middle of the field. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away, offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield, and you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Now.
Lawletta. And Diggs has it. And the ball is knocked out. And the Packers pick it up. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now Jones. And an alley to run. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 42 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Mike, 55. Check 55, Mike.
Lauletta from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing on second and long. Lauletta. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the gun on third down, Lauletta. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Green Bay, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.